Arc 1, Issue 14. Even as the smoke fades and our heroes find themselves in the next room, the crackling of a fire can be heard. Their vision returns, and before the heroes is the next challenge. The ceiling is blackened by ages of smoke, and the floor is covered in a thick coating of white ash. In the center of this room is a massive brazier, with a billowing column of flame barely contained within. The heat is nearly unbearable, and already our adventurers begin to sweat. "Gods above!" Allura exclaims, trying to fan herself with her staff. "This is rather unpleasant." Amara wipes her brow, clear beads of sweat clinging to her hand. "We need to hurry," she says, looking back at where the door had been to let them in. Alas, no exit is visible. Vic straightens his glasses. "I don't see a tablet or inscription anywhere. What are we supposed to do?" As if on cue, the flames in the brazier erupt, blackening the ceiling and threatening to incinerate anything that gets close. "On your toes! Be quick about this!" Amara yips, then begins digging through the ashes to see if anything is hidden. Eric catches an ember on his beard, scorching a single hair. Enraged, he throws caution to the wind as he swings his hammer at the brazier in an attempt to burst it open. With a clash of steel on steel, Eric's hammer meets the iron brazier with a resounding clang. The sound reverberates through the stones, sending shockwaves rippling through the ash. Eric pounds his hammer against the iron sides again and again, each clash scattering more and more embers. Yet for all the dwarven strength he possesses, Eric is unable to misshapen the brazier. "Stupid! Worthless! Iron!" Eric bellows, angrily slamming his hammer into the stone floor instead. Allura watches in horror, trying her best to dodge the growing cloud of burning embers and blinding smoke. The heat only increases. "Eric!" Omar shrieks before falling into a coughing fit. Stop! Vic takes off his glasses, the thin metal frame burning into his skin. He squints, looking around. Through a stroke of luck, his eyes catch something in the worst of places. There's a lever in the flames. Omara covers her eyes, looking towards where Vic points. The flames are bright and hot, causing the air to be sweltering and unbreathable. Omara spies the lever, a small handle at the base of the brazier, right in the middle of a dozen of white-hot logs. Allura coughs as she chokes on smoke. The air begins to warble as smoke claims more and more of her vision. With a weak prayer, Allura begs the tribunal for a blessing. Vic pants, each breath filled with hot ash and thick smoke. His glasses slip from his hand, landing softly in the centuries-old ash on the floor. Vic leans to retrieve them, only to fall over. Weakly, he tries to stand, but darkness begins to claim his vision as heat-induced exhaustion leeches the strength from his bones. Eric spits on the ground, angry but weakening. For all his time spent among active forges, he had never ventured into the heart of a furnace before. Until now. The handle of Eric's hammer burns an imprint into his hand, yet he remains steadfast. Before long, Eric is hunched over to avoid breathing nothing but smoke. The time to act is now, Amara thinks between muddled thoughts. The heat will only grow more unbearable as time passes. At least she got out of Reaper's Rest before the end. Amara takes a breath one last time, then dives for the lever and pulls it. The heat within the flames is unmatched, and the steel lever threatens to melt the very flesh from Amara's hand. The flames burn at her face, scorching her eyes as she forces them shut. And then, as if it were all a dream, the party finds themselves back in the main chamber, the flame door gone. Allura gasps for air, falling to the ground in tears. Vic coughs, exhaling thick smoke as cold air fills his lungs once more. Eric slumps to the ground, singed hairs decorating his face now. Amara lies on the ground, unmoving. Amara! Vic yells with great effort. He crawls to her side, wiping soot-filled tears from his cheeks. Amara coughs, wheezing as she takes a new breath. She opens her eyes to look at Vic, yet her vision is blurred. "Vic? I can't see."